started this YouTube live, and she's got a recording going for all of you out there for JAWS mental health awareness. Enjoy.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the JAWS mental health awareness. Fortunately, Jen is not John are with us today. Hopefully they'll be back next week. And this show is a part of the World of Ability podcast network. That was created a couple years ago by Kurt Ruskoff and Marcus Hart of Transform You Media of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A little bit about this, a little bit of background sort of about, it was like a year or so ago, Jen had come on, or Kurt and I had met Jennifer on a HNP, or Happy Neighborhood Project meeting or event. And at one point she joined us on one of our World of Ability podcasts that we have on every Saturday at 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. And I had asked her, we're always looking for people to come on and help with the show at all, like in moderating or with anything else. And I said about maybe coming on or helping with moderating at least one of the shows. And she did at the end of 2021. Like November, December of 2021 when this happened. Gary, do you remember when I brought up to Jen about helping with her show? All right, well, I guess Kurt isn't right there. But she started helping us and started helping us with the Compassionate Citizen podcast, which has been happening every few Wednesdays as of late. Not like it was once a week like it was before. And I guess she grew to liking the whole helping her run a podcast and decided she wanted to create her own. And so that's how this mental health awareness show, Christ Talk, Jaws Diet, and the recently started show a couple days ago of Follow Your Dreams. And Jenna had also and different things going on. I think that was part of the motivation here. But I just wanted to maybe sort of talk a little bit about myself today. I too have a disability, which is an invisible disability. Autism. I have autism, more specifically Asperger's, and it's just considered a an invisible condition. And I was growing up, I was knew something was a little off. Or it didn't seem totally right, but I didn't really know what. Didn't really know what it was or really what to do. And so several years after I moved to Stevens Point, Wisconsin, from Darlington, Wisconsin, I ended up getting the diagnosis of Asperger's, and started on several medications to help with the anxiety and ADHD and depression medicine. And by the time I got this diagnosis, I was already in my mid to late 20s. And late 20s, which was in like 2011, roughly 2011, 2012. And so I was kind of diagnosed on the so then a little later than some. but at least I knew with the diagnosis, it kind of really helped things a little bit. So I knew kind of, or sort of understood what was going on. And things that had happened while growing up. Made a little more sense after I was diagnosed. And so I've gone through but one other thing so then several years ago I moved down here to Madison, Wisconsin, and joined the Autism Society of South Central Wisconsin. And they have a young adult group as one of their programs. And I joined that group, and I liked it, and I've been going to the group. The group has a few meetings a month, which I've been going to all of them. And recently, or like a couple of weeks ago, one of the people in that group who I've had hung out with, excuse me, I had hung out with at several of the these meetings, and I think a couple other things. Unexpectedly passed away. And this person was also kind of on the spectrum, and was only like a year younger than I am currently. So he was 37, and they, from what I heard, they maybe have been a suicide. And when I first heard about it, it was rather sad and shocking, because this person did not seem like they were depressed or had anything really real serious issues. Like, he was always the happy-go-lucky, and was kind of involved with everything. What sort of seemed like involved with everything, and the Autism Society and chapter. But it never seemed like he was ever really that depressed or sad, or at least not to the point of suicide. And his partner is also part of this autism group. And I think it's been a little hard for all of us to I'm pressing that he's gone and so soon. And you never know what I think you never really know what's really going on with somebody. And I was recently, or since this happened, thinking, you never know what somebody is going through. And it could always be something more serious than what you're dealing with. And that there may be some people who may not really show any obvious signs of being depressed or in kind of suicide mentality. And so back up. So, or it could be somebody like the person I've been referring to, the autism group, who didn't really seem to be all that depressed or have obvious signs that he was depressed or heading in the suicide direction. Yet, suicide still happened. But then I'm sure there are other people who have maybe been sort of showing some signs of going in that direction. But that never happens. So it's to the point of you never know what somebody is going through. So it's important to be kind and respectful of everybody and no judgment. And I have had my times of anxiety and depression, and I have to several different counselors for the years, and what do I think is helped? but I still have some anxiety, and especially that I am trying to work through. And I just wanted to remind everybody that mental health is very important, and to not take not to take this topic lightly. And to always seek out help if I need it, or I get somebody help that really needs it. And to not take it lightly. So I think, the person who died a couple weeks ago, it is a good reminder of how important this topic is, and to not just brush it off and think it doesn't affect you in any way, because mental health affects everybody. Everybody has their own how it affects them is different with everybody, each person, and nobody is the same. So that's kind of all I have to say today. And look forward to seeing everybody next week at 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern. And I'd like to give a special thanks to Marcus Hart, Transforming Media, Jay Swain of the Disability Channel, and Zach Clayton of the PAC Channel, for allowing us to have this show on their platform. I'd like to invite everybody to a few events that are coming up in the next couple months. First one is Festivus. For those of you who are Seinfeld fans, you should recognize what Festivus is. Festivus for the rest of us. The official day is December 23rd, but the Roscoe family has, for the past 25 years, put on a Festivus in February event with the poll, a framed picture of Kramer, the airing of grievances, the feats of strength, and there'll be online games, board games, scavenger hunt on Saturday. And the thing new this year is going to be karaoke on that Friday, February 3rd, put on by a HMP member from Hawaii. And so if anybody has anything that they would like to contribute, such as anything like the karaoke, they're welcome to do so. And there will be, for those of you who can attend in person, there will be Zoom going. So to please connect with us if you are planning on attending through Zoom. And the next event is the International Day of Happiness event on March 17th. The Happy Neighbor Project is putting on. We are looking to break the Guinness Book of Records for the most people speed networking. At one time, the current record is 1,068, set in 2014, and we are looking to surpass that. The whole event itself is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific, with obviously speed networking, prizes, speakers, that's all. So it should be a fun event. The tickets right now for $30. However, it will go up to the $40 first. So I encourage everybody to get planning on attending to get your ticket ASAP. And one last thing, on March 18th, the network is going to be having their Solidarity Summit. So more info to come on. And on behalf of John, Kurt, and the rest of the World of Ability Podcast Network, weekend, do stay happy.